Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? So we got Tress, and, Tress Untangled, Carol Prince, JJ's in the house, Kathy's here, Nostradamus, Janet is here, Paul Andreas, Wishika, Dale from Ohio, Delbert Jones, uh, Carol Prince, Alex is here. So good evening, everybody. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys have had a freaking awesome Sunday. Is that right? That's weird. I'm just looking at that going, really? There's only 36 people in the chat? And I just jumped up. I was like, wow, that was weird. So, oh, Emil's here. Hey, how you doing? All right. Yeah, you need to relax. Now, you're not going out, so stop. You were just out a little while ago, so we're not going to even start. No, we're not. We're not starting. No. No, we are not. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go. No. No, we're not doing this tonight. No, we're not. No, we are not. Excuse me. I'm busy. You're such a snot. Go. Go on. That's it. Oh, my goodness gracious. Anyway, guys, welcome, welcome. I hope everybody is doing well. My goodness. No, stop. You know what? I don't want you starting. No. God, Hella, stop. That's it. No. She was out an hour and a half ago. So no, you don't need to go out. No, you do not. Enough. No. No. That's it. No. Don't look at me like that. You're fine. Oh, yeah. Cap Lejeune. No kidding. How's it going there, Glenn? All right. My goodness. Yeah, third tanker seized. Yeah. So, yeah, we're going to get into everything here in just a minute, guys. So, anyway, before we jump into anything, I just really want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here. All right, because we're not going to tolerate it. So, yeah, Helen needs her own YouTube. Yeah, no kidding. God, she is willful. Willful. I mean, she really, truly is. So, what do we got? 115 in here already, guys. So, I'm going to ask real quick. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you ahead of time. It really does make a big, big difference with the algorithms. The more interaction, the better it is for the channel. So I appreciate it for that reason as well. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. All right. So anyway, crazy. So here's the weird thing, okay? And tell me, I want to ask how many of you, everybody out here, are feeling the same thing, okay? It's like, you ever hear that term, the lull before the storm? Like you see a storm coming in, right? You can see it coming in on the horizon, and you know it's coming. But right now where you are, it's calm, and there's nothing happening. But you know it's coming, and you can feel it, and you know it's going to be bad, right? I get that sense like right now, the calm before the storm, exactly. All right. How many of you guys are feeling that feeling of being unsettled, on edge, like waiting? Okay, it's coming. When's it going to happen? Right, the lull before the storm. Right. Yeah. I just, like, with every fiber of my being, it's just I'm like, it's coming, it's coming, you know. I mean, and I hope that doesn't sound too crazy. All right. And I'm not, and I can honestly say to you guys, I can honestly say, I hope I'm completely wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because we're not where we need to be. We're not where we need to be. It's just, it's almost like waiting for that tinderbox to blow up. Carol Prince said, "I've been feeling like that for a while." Me too, Carol. It's been a while, but it seems to feel like it's intensifying. If I'm, that's what it feels like right now. It's like it's that sense of urgency, that sense of, all right, when's it gonna pop? That's it's just weird. It's yeah, can you feel the commotion in the air tonight? Yeah, hold on. Yeah, exactly. Um, but yeah, it's just I don't know. It's like, okay, how bad's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? But whatever it is, it's coming. You know. And that's what it feels like right now. It's like, all right, we know it's coming, we feel it. It's just that sense of I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but yeah, it's just it's like, okay, well, when it happens, we got to deal with it. We got to deal with it. So, but like JJ was saying, we just seized a third tanker. So at some point with that situation, right? So here's what I find interesting, and I was just watching, and it wasn't talking to Trump. This reporter was talking to somebody else, okay, um, and the person that she was talking to was somebody important, and I don't know who he is. I have no idea. And she was like, "Well, what do you feel about these bombing of these fishing boats?" And he looks at her and he goes, "Fishing boats? Really?" He goes, "You're talking about high speed turbo, boats that they're using to transport drugs." She goes, "Is that what you're talking about? The drug boats?" And she was like, "Well, yeah, and she like backpedals and they gotta spin it. They gotta spin it a certain way. They're gotta try to spin it a certain way." Listen, and I'm gonna be real clear on this one. I don't know. I don't get the intel. They don't have me in the loop. But if these boats are narco drug boats, blow them all up. And if there's anybody left in the water, go back and finish them off. Okay, that's how I feel. Because let me ask you guys this. Let me ask you this. Besides the big pharmaceutical companies, right? How many of you out here watching have somebody in your family that has been affected by drugs? We're not talking big pharma because that's a whole different discussion for a whole different time. I'm talking about how many of you have had loved ones, people that you care about, be affected by crack, heroin, fentanyl. You know, how many of you? Well, probably quite a bit. Somebody in your family might not be one of your children, but it could be cousins or brothers or sisters or somebody. And I think most people can say that yes, they have. Will you stop? What is wrong with you? You sat here and did nothing for the last hour and a half. Nothing. And then as soon as I get online, guys, hold on. Hold on. You are a snot. No, you are. You are lucky that I love you because otherwise I would not. Oh my God, you're just petulant. Petulant. Pain in the behind. And she won't stop. That's the worst part. Hella wins again. Yes. You know why? Because she won't stop. Because she won't stop. And my job, I am a professional doorman. And she knows that. Oh. Yeah, so you got these drugs there and they're wiping them out. So does that affect the drug trade? Of course it does. You know, of course it does. They're not fishermen. Nobody's fishing with high-powered motors that can do 90 miles an hour. If she's a female, well, enough said, right, Carol? And it's weird how that works. That women get their way. I don't know why. How that works that way. Men in general, we will give in. So I've always said this, okay, and I'm gonna be discreet in the way I describe this, okay? Men, we are very simple creatures. Okay? There's only two things you have to do as a woman. As a woman, there's only two things you have to do. And we as men will do anything for you. Okay? One of us, one of the things, there's two F's. Okay? One F is feed us. And you guys can figure out what the other F is. Okay? If you do, this is just advice to ladies. Okay? If you do those two things for us as men, we will do anything that you ask. Anything. It's very simple. Like I said, we are very simple creatures. We really, truly are. Tell me I'm wrong. Somebody out there tell me I'm wrong. Right? Tell me I'm wrong. So, but anyway, going back to what we were talking about, I have absolutely no problem with what they're doing with the boats if those boats are running drugs. I have no problem with it. Now, the whole situation, now we're seizing oil tankers. We got a lot of troops in the area. Women are way too complicated. Oh, they are. They're very complicated. You will never know what a woman's agenda is because they have an agenda. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not, guys, I want you to know, I'm not slamming women. I am not slamming women. I love women, okay? But women have an agenda, and we will never know what that agenda is. We just won't. It's not in our makeup. We will never understand, okay? But again, all women have to do is two things, and we're good to go. We're like, yes, dear. Whatever. What did you want me to do, honey? Okay, no problem. Very simple creatures. But anyhow, again, this whole situation with what's going on in Venezuela, I definitely could see that escalating. But the thing that we need to be concerned about with that, right? What is China's response? What is Russia's response? When you have those guys backing, Venezuela, I think China's pretty much in bed with them pretty good. And I understand they're saying, they're doing the oil thing and the embargo and the whole thing with Iran and all this type of stuff. But, it's just, it's weird. The whole situation. Now, all of a sudden, out of the blue, Well, I mean, we've been screwing with Venezuela for a while. We really, truly have. Guys, we got 193 people in the chat already, and we're at 77 thumbs up, which is less than half. Like I said, the goal is 200. If we hit 200 thumbs up, I definitely will not ask for any more after that. So if you could shoot a thumbs up to show support again, I would appreciate it. It really does. The more interaction on the channel, the better. So that's why I asked for the thumbs up, because it's interaction on the channel. Also, again, if you are not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And again, I thank you ahead of time. It's just with everything that's going on right now, that sense of urgency is huge for me right now. It is just, it's waiting. What are they coming up with next? Is basically what it is. What are they coming up with to control us completely, to have us under their lock and thumb? That's what's concerning. That should be concerning to most everybody. And again, like, I was showing you in the last live stream, I picked up, ghee. I'm saying that right. I'm probably Ghee. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay. But, rendered butter is what it is, but it's a great fat source. And again, we're going to need fat. And I've talked about that as well. Okay. Lard is another good one. Bacon grease is a great one. A lot of fat and, in bacon and stuff like that. So bacon is a good one to have on hand as well. But, after you cook that bacon up, drain that grease into a cup or whatever, and you can use that for cooking and whatever. I mean, it's a great fat source, again, in your diet. Okay, it's just you're going to need it. The energy that you're going to be. I don't think that people grasp that when things go sideways, how truly bad it's going to be um, when you're looking at the whole situation of everything. Um, it's going to be outrageous. It is going to be absolutely outrageous. Um, the amount of energy we're going to expend, calories we're going to burn. So all of us that are carrying extra weight, right? Fat reserves, if you will be all losing weight really, really quickly, real quickly, because you're going to be much more active than you are now. Regardless if you're prepped up to the wazoo or not, you're going to be more active. So, lard is the worst thing for your arteries, not sound advice. Carolyn, let me just explain something to you, okay? I'm just saying that we need fat in our diet. Yeah, lard may not be great for your arteries, but dying because you're not getting enough fat in your diet is worse. Just putting that out there. So I'm not saying, like I said, what did I just say? Cook with bacon grease. Bacon grease is a really good fat source, you know. But JJ saying also keep in shape for SHTF scenarios. Yeah, you got to be able to move around. You got to be able to take care of what needs to be taken care of. Again, really quick. Yeah, fat in moderation. Exactly. Really quickly, things are going to go. Like I said, again, people have no idea. But again, I had somebody say the other day, well, we have time now. We can take our time prepping because Trump's in office, right? Again, that's resting on your laurels, right? Don't don't do that. If we bought more time because Trump's in office, that's great. But we don't know. So let's do a little scenario here, guys, right? Let's go back to Trump's first 4 years in office, right? Economy was booming. Things were going great. A lot of small businesses were out there, and the economy was fantastic, right? Everything was fantastic. It was great. And then all of a sudden, something happened, right? That shut the entire country down. Shut the entire country down. And we had the experts telling us what we needed to do and all that type of stuff. Tell me I'm wrong on that one. And when that happened, here's what I find amazing. When that whole situation happened, liquor stores were still open, right? Your weed stores were still open. Walmart was still open. Lowe's was still open. Home Depot was still open. But you couldn't go to church. You couldn't go to the gym. If you had a restaurant, they made it so difficult for these restaurants to stay open and stay in business with the whole crap of everything that they were doing. So many businesses went out of business. A lot of small businesses went out of business. Now, Walmart made record profits, right? Lowe's, Home Depot, I don't know if they made record, profits, but they weren't hurting, So why that whole thing, and I'm just giving you kind of like my opinion, my synopsis of it. That was done to destroy the economy, to destroy small business people. Because of that situation, look at how many stores have gone out of business, how many restaurants went out of business and didn't come back on and get started again. And so, and here's what I thought was funny. So they had the whole shutdown of everything, right? And then after Biden got elected, then all of a sudden the restrictions kind of eased up. And oh my God, look at how many jobs President Biden has added to the economy. He didn't add jobs to the economy. People went back to work finally after how long, right? And then, it's just the whole thing was very suspicious. And just so hear me out. So here we are now, a year into Trump's second term, right? I don't know about you guys, but gas prices, they're looking a whole lot better. I got gas yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I went out. What did I go out? I went out Wednesday. So no. What day did I go out? Did I go out? Was it yesterday? Might have been. I might whatever day I went out. It was either Thursday or Friday. I went out. Might have been Thursday. I think it was Thursday. So when I went out, gas was 273 a gallon, which is a lot less than it was, even a year ago. A lot less than it was a year ago. So you're seeing, uh, you know, things coming down. Got me a bottle of Irish cream whiskey for $23 plus $10 tax. Holy crap. That's a heavy tax. Heavy tax. Getting pounded another 4 or 5 inches per hour right now. Wow. Yeah, good for you, Village Homestead. You can have that. You can have that. So, but like I said, gas prices are going down, which is great. So, my thing is, you got to discredit the guy, right? That's what they want. They always want to discredit the guy, make him look bad. So what's coming? What's going to be the thing that puts us in some kind of crisis again where things get screwed again? That's just, so it's like that's part of it for me. Part of it for me is like you're waiting, because again, I want you, people like AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Jeffers, they're not the people guys running things, okay? They're clowns that they put up there to dance for people. The people that are really truly in charge of stuff, they're very, very smart people and they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Yeah, they're useful idiots. Exactly, Nostradamus. But again, the people that are truly running stuff, if they want to do something, they're going to do it. You know, silver prices, right? I've talked about the silver prices when it was 50 something an ounce, and now it's $67 an ounce. That should be hugely concerning for people. It really should be, because that's not a good sign. The dollar is losing value. So that's why so many people end up going into precious metals, because of the fact of what's happening. So those are things that people really need to pay attention to. They need to be concerned about, in plan accordingly. Now is not the time to think, oh, we're good, everything's fine, we got nothing to worry about. There's a lot to be concerned about, because we never know. Like tomorrow again. If you got like anybody that's old enough to remember 9/11, right? And I'm sure that the people that were alive when JFK was assassinated, right? When JFK was assassinated, people knew, they remembered, where was I? What was I doing that day? What time it was when I found out about it, the whole 9 yards. They remember that, okay? 9/11 9/11 is the same thing, folks, okay? 9/11, I can tell you exactly where I was, what I was doing, and and we saw on live TV the second plane hit. We saw that live TV. We watched the second plane hit. And so, those type of events, who would have thought, right? It was a Monday, like any other Monday. You got up, you're getting ready for work. You're doing your thing, you're having your breakfast or whatever, and and then things change like really quickly. That's how it's going to, in my opinion, I think that's how it's going to go down. It's going to be 1 minute everything is fine, normal, whatever normal is, and then bam, something is going to happen that is going to set off a chain reaction, and whatever else is going to come with that. And it could be any number of things. I mean, any number of things. And again, those are things that are very concerning. People should be concerned about it. You got to pay attention to it, because you just never know. You just don't know. But it's just I've been feeling I've had that sense of urgency for a while. I mean, like the entirety of this year, you know, and it's like with what we're doing down here, right? With getting things squared away and trying to get things in place and try to be as ready as we can be and do all those type of things. Uh, we have really part of what I've been trying to do with everybody here is get their places squared away and get those things that they need to get done, because it's just that sense of urgency that time is short, that we don't have a lot of time. Um, it's really, really strong. And so, and we have been working on things here, and this year has been fantastic in reality. With when you look at the big picture, what did we get done this year, right? What has been accomplished? And a lot got accomplished this year, which is just great. It's absolutely fantastic. But at the same time, it's like we got to get things done. We got to get things done. You've been forcing us to get prepared. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Exactly. Well, and the thing is, it's like, you know, when you think about it, so let's say you got your building, right? You got your building. You're one of my members of my group, and you got your building, but you don't have it insulated. You got nothing set up in there. You have a few things in there, but not a lot. And then something goes sideways, and maybe the only thing you have time for is to pack up your car or your truck with one load of stuff, and get here. Now you got to prioritize, what am I bringing, right? So you're talking ammo, weapons, food, whatever, medical supplies, clothing, whatever you decide you want to bring. That's what you're bringing on that last trip. But what we've been talking about here as a group is having things pre-staged. They're already here. So having a certain amount of food, having supplies, and tools, and you know if you're doing a project, like Mark's got a project, well, he's got all kinds of stuff here ready to go for that project. He's just got to put it together. So again, you know, if it's here, we can work on it whenever. It's not like, oh my God, well, now we don't have time, because now all we're going to have is time. But again, if you don't have those things put in place, you're going to be in trouble really, really quickly. So it's really important to put yourself in the best possible position that you possibly can be in. That's my take on it. I think it's hugely important. It's something that we all got to think about. And like I said, that sense of urgency is just, it's getting more intense, I guess is the right word. Um, and we've been watching this BS for 5 years. Guilt proven, nothing done. Something has to blow. Right. Yeah. There's a lot of crap that's been going on out there, and at some point is going to reach a catalyst. I've talked about, like, with the economy and what we've done as far as, now they're talking. I want you to think about this, guys, okay? So during the whole COVID thing, they printed all this money, put all this money out there, and now they're talking, like in Minnesota, that it could be upwards of $9 billion that was siphoned off with the scammers that were doing that. And think about how much that's just an incredible amount of money. Again, go back when Obama was in office, right? Oh, we're going to go green. It's green. It's green. Everything is wonderful. So he gave all this money to all these green companies, right? And remember this. I want you to think about this. How many of them, 6 months to a year after they received millions and millions of dollars, went out of business? Gone, fart in the wind, history, no more, right? Hold on a second, guys. Let me see if I can get Hella in. Come on, baby girl. There she is. All right. Are you going to be calm now? Huh? Be calm now, you stinking dog. Oh, She's back. So, so what do we got? We got 259 in the chat, guys. We got 125 thumbs up. We need 75 more. 75 more, and that's still under half. So half of you that are here have not shot that thumbs up yet. So I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. We hit 200 thumbs up. I stop asking, I promise. So the sooner that happens, the sooner I stop. So if you want to shut me up with a thumbs up, hit it, please. Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. The more interaction, the better for the channel. So again, I thank you for that reason. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure that you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. There's a lot of, I don't want to say kickbacks, but there's a lot of fraudulent activity. Okay, you got to go down, baby. You got to go down. There's a lot of fraudulent activity going on within the government. Has been forever. So, and again, it doesn't matter what administration is in office, okay? I want you to think about that. What you have to understand is they're all on the same team, which means they're looking out for themselves, the special interest groups to get them elected, and their rich friends. So it doesn't matter if it's Republicans, it doesn't matter if it's Democrats, it's the same thing. It's two sides of the same coin, and every 4 years, we're going to make things better. Our side is better. Join our side. No, our side is better. Join us. And they get in power, and it's business as usual. You know, somebody was saying, "Oh, well, you know, Trump is getting rich, you know, being in office and stuff like that." And I said, "What politician, president that's gotten into office doesn't get rich off of it? Which one doesn't? So you know what happens. So why are you complaining just because it's Trump?" You know what I mean? It's like they all do it. They all do it. They all make. Actually, there's only one that I can think of that did not enrich himself. And see, I'm going to ask you guys if you remember, because it's in my lifetime. One president that I can think of that did not enrich himself with being the president of the United States. One president. Who do you think it is? And I'll let you guys put your answers in the chat, and I'll tell you in a second who it was. One president. One president did not enrich himself. I see a lot of right answers in here. Jimmy Carter. Was George Washington alive in my lifetime? Jay, no more numbers. I said, in my lifetime, they've served as president. George Washington. Oh my God. Yeah, I've been around a long time. If that's the case, man, I'm not doing well after a couple hundred years. Yes, Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter never went on speaking tours and made all kinds of money because he was the president. He was the reason that he only lasted 4 years, because I think Jimmy Carter was an honest man. I really do. I really think Jimmy Carter was an honest man. And that's why they had to get him out of there after 4 years, you know. And he didn't have what it takes to do what needed to be done. And there was the other part of it. You know, I think he really anguished over a lot of what was going on and what happened and stuff. So, yeah. But yeah, so that's that would be the one, you know. I mean, look at how Obama, the kind of money he's making for speaking engagements. Both Bushes, they've done very, very well, you know, with being in office. Clinton, I mean, look at, you know, career politicians are worth millions. Now, I like Clinton. I will tell you that. Under Bill Clinton, we had a surplus. I want you to remember that. Under Bill Clinton, we had a surplus. We did not have a deficit. So, you know, but again, the guy's getting, you know, BJs in the Oval Office, and, you know, hey, again, position of power, people do that. That happens, you know. So, but again, it's not my business. I think he was a good president. That's just my opinion. Okay. So it's not like all Republicans are great and all Democrats suck. No, there's both sides. that equally suck, you know. So that's just my. Oh, he was a disaster as president. Absolutely, Jimmy Carter was a disaster as president. But I think because he was an honest man. I think it's because he was an honest man. You know, no, he did not have what it took to be president. He did not. So he was in way over his head. To be able to be president, I don't know how if I think you have to have a certain level of corruptibility or being corrupt. I think that's the nicest way of saying that. Um, so you know, but it just kind of depends on who's in charge and what they're doing and how they're taking care of business. So yeah, I hear that one, but yeah, right, right, JJ, exactly. And the thing, so going back to that, right? So they announce on a Friday they're doing an investigation of the missing $1.2 trillion, right? And they had those files and all that stuff in two locations, in the Pentagon and also in Building 7, right? And lo and behold, on Monday morning, a plane allegedly goes into the Pentagon exactly where all these files were for the $1.2 trillion of missing money. Building 7, they pulled Building 7, right? Because of allegedly, it was so damaged. It was so terrible. Didn't get hit by a plane, but, they had to pull Building 7. So all that information, all that paperwork, gone, right? Did you ever hear about the $1.2 trillion again, folks? Did they ever bring that up? We're going to find out what happened to all this money. Do you ever remember that? Right? Yeah, all the gold that was down there in the World Trade Centers as well. What happened to that? They didn't recover that. They took all the steel from the trade centers, put it out on ships, and sent it overseas somewhere. Think about that. Why? Why would they do that? These are just questions. I just have questions, right? But I don't believe in coincidences. That's kind of where I'm going with that one. I'll just leave that alone there. So that's, like I said, that's again, I've talked about that a little bit before and got strikes because of things that I said. So I have to be very, very careful. Yeah, they sold the scrap steel to India. Yep. Wonder why they would do that. Wonder why they would do that. I don't know. I don't know. Amazing. Amazing, though. But, I was not a big fan of government before then. Never have been. I don't trust them at all. I don't believe that the government has our best interests at heart. It might be on Epstein's Island. Oh my God, that's too funny. That is too funny. But again, like I said, we just there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of distraction. Kill 1,300 people. Get rid of whatever evidence you need to. Distract the people. And oh yeah, by the way, now we have a 20-year war in Afghanistan. We have occupation of Iraq for how long? 15 years, maybe, whatever it was, right? Took out Saddam Hussein and that whole crew, went in there and took over and did what we did in Afghanistan. And then we just abandoned it. Screw it. We're out of here, right? Amazing. Amazing. And how much did those wars cost, right? How many trillion did those wars cost? How much the loss of life of U.S. soldiers and the ones that came back that really didn't come back whole? I mean, you never come back whole after combat and after war. So, yeah, and, but boy, we all had our flags out, right? Rah, 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 go USA. We're going to get you. Yep. Yep. So interesting times. Interesting times. You know, we got to just, like I said, prep, 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 and then do some more prep. We didn't abandon Afghanistan. We lost. No, we did not lose. No, we did not lose. We abandoned. We abandoned. We could have taken that whole country over. Realistically, folks, realistically, if they had let us fight the right way, there wouldn't be anybody to resist us. Like I said, again, here's the line. Everybody on this side of the line is a good guy. Everybody on that side of the line is a bad guy. And you wipe them all out. If you wipe them all out, they're not fighting you anymore. They can't fight you anymore because they're not there. Their sons don't grow up to fight you and revenge the death of their fathers because they're all gone. That's how you have to fight a war. Genghis Khan, all right, I'm going to go back to that. If you think about this, if you know history at all, what Genghis Khan used to do, he would surround a city and he would say, you have a choice. You either surrender or you will all die. And he would kill, if you didn't surrender, he would kill everything in that city except for one person, usually a child. Every animal, every human, every woman, every child, every old person, he killed them all. He killed everyone. Now that's somebody that you don't want to go up against. That's somebody that when they come at your door and knock on the door and say, surrender, you go, I remember what that dude did to that city down there. We're giving up. You're in charge. Take over. That's how you do it, folks. You don't play games and worry about everybody's feelings and who cares about this or that. You just take it over. And I'm sorry, but I want you to realize something. Anybody out here has got wants to be a big bleeding heart about this type of situation. In war, atrocities happen on both sides, right? So things are going to happen in war no matter what, okay? So if you're going to do it the one way. And then you take it over and now it's ours, period. So no, we didn't lose. We didn't lose in Vietnam, right? At home, the popular support for the war went away. If we had did that line in the sand and just cleaned house moving forward, that would have been it. That would have been it. So I mean, we fight wars with one hand tied behind our back because wars equal money. The longer they can drag these wars out, the more money the war machine makes. And it's great for the economy. And they don't care that most of the young men who die in war come from small towns or cities, all right? Not rich people. Their kids don't go to war. So, that's my take on that. So anyway, we're at 280 people in the chat. We got 159 thumbs up. Again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. Again, I do appreciate that. Yeah, public opinion. They're so worried about public opinion all the time. We need 40 more to hit 200 thumbs up. So if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, please do so again to show support. Again, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms. So the more interaction with the channel, the better. Comments are great too. Thumbs up are helpful. So I do appreciate that. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to give all notifications as well. And I thank you ahead of time. Now, what I'm saying to you guys, right, that may sound harsh, that how could you be so unfeeling? It's not about that, right? You can't leave people behind that can hate you and want to kill you later on. You can't. You just can't, because they're going to. So that's just my take on it. If you're going to do it, if you're going to go to war, do it the one way only. And you make it so horrific. Okay, so now let's talk about this part of it, right? So now you've taken over an area. And if you decide, and see, here's the problem with letting people stay, right? If you're letting people live and continue to stay there, you're going to have guerrilla activity. So what you do is you say, okay, for every American soldier that is killed after we've decided, it's over, we got it, we're in control, For every American soldier that's killed, we're going to kill 1,000 of you. And I'll tell you what, that would stop in a heartbeat, because is that acceptable losses? Right? So I'm just saying, it sounds harsh, but war is not a pleasant thing. What we do in war now is not a pleasant thing. Everybody's all flipping out. Here's something I want to make a point of. We're going to do egg count here in a minute, okay? Innocent kids shouldn't die when there's ways around it. It's war. Those are collateral damage. And you can't let them grow up to become adults that hate you and want to kill you because you killed grandpa and daddy and your uncle and everybody else. Because that's what happens. That's what happens. But anyway, so they're all flipping out about these drug boats, the narco boats, and how we're blowing up the narco boats. But nobody talks about the 3,700 people that Obama killed with drones. And I'm going to tell you, folks, I'm going to let you in on a secret. He didn't just kill the bad guys. He killed their wives and their children and their grandparents. Whoever was in that house when they dropped that bomb on there to kill said bad guy, they killed everybody that was in that house. Collateral damage, acceptable losses. Those are nice words that they use to explain things. Real nice words, okay? But that's what it is. That collateral damage, that's the wife, the kids, everybody else. And we did that under Obama, and he killed 3,700 people with drone attacks. But that's okay. Why? Because it was Obama. That's perfect. Everything's wonderful. You didn't hear the Democrats complaining then, did you? Crazy, guys, crazy. Explain it to me. So, all right. We're going to do egg count. So we're 16 away, thumbs up for 200. We're at 184. So let's keep those coming. Let's hit 200. And then, like I said, again, I won't ask again, I promise. So how many eggs today? Yes or no for Miss Betty White? And how many Easter eggers laid today? So I'll give you guys a moment to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. Nice way to sugarcoat things, exactly. And that's what they do. That's what they do. So I'll give you guys a minute and we will go from there. Okay, quick question here. Denise Duggins, yes or no for Miss Betty White? You didn't put that in there. You gave me an egg count and how many Easter eggers, but you don't have yes or no for Miss Betty White. Got to have all three in there, guys. So, all right. All right. Denise was the closest. Guys, nobody's going to get this right. Oh, now we got Nostradamus comes in. Okay. So we do. Yeah. So you guys picked up on that hint, right? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and let the win go to Nostradamus. He's going to get the win. JJ was close early on, but 7 eggs today. No for Miss Betty White still. She's still growing her feathers back. And 1 Easter egger. I see Nostradamus picked up on what I was asking Denise. Because Denise, you were close. You had 7 and 1, which were right. But you put yes. So that was wrong. So, yeah, right now, Betty has not been laying. So congratulations to Nostradamus. You are the winner. You've won absolutely nothing, but you are happy about it. So that's too funny. He figured a couple of you did. Anzo figured it out real quick too. That's actually, you guys are paying attention. That's good. Again, right now, Betty has not been laying. She's growing feathers. So pretty much until all of a sudden one day I say yes, that she's starting to lay again, She's not going to be laying until she's done growing those feathers. But they're coming along. They look a lot better. Her back doesn't look all bald anymore, so that's a good thing. That's a real good thing. But I don't think so, Alex. Alex is asking, do I think nuclear war could happen between NATO and Russia? I don't think so, because nobody wins. Nobody wins in that situation. And if that ever happened, China would sit back, lick their chops, let that go down, and pick up the pieces. That's what China would do. So I don't see that happening. But there will have to be an asterisk on Nostradamus's win. Oh my God, that's too funny, JJ. That's great. But anyway, guys, going back, we're at 194. We need six more thumbs up. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see nuclear war. That's just my opinion. Because if you destroy everything, what is there to take over afterwards, right? You want the intact farmland. You want the infrastructure to be there. So the most realistic thing would be two different things, right? Well, actually three. You could do three different things to cause utter chaos and anarchy. Grid down situation, which I've talked about that a million times. I personally think that's the most plausible thing that could happen, is a grid down situation. Cyber attack or whatever the case may be. I don't think it'll be an EMP, because an EMP, again, destroys everything. So you don't want that. So I think it's either going to be a grid down situation that could be orchestrated, done on purpose to reduce the population. All right. And that's one way. You would reduce the population in a hurry really quickly. So grid down, some kind of pandemic that actually kills 50% or more of the population. That's another way to do it, right? That's another way to do it, because you get rid of a bunch of people. You get rid of all your compromised people, and then, you'll have to sacrifice some of the other folks. But again, that would be a great way to reduce population, a lot less people. Now, you got things to take over and take care of. So you're looking at that. The third would be an economic collapse, complete economic collapse. So am I going to wear a Santa hat on my next live stream on Wednesday? No, I don't even have a Santa hat. So, but I will be live streaming on Wednesday, guys. So Christmas Eve, I definitely will be live streaming. So, because I know Christmas is on Thursday. So, so definitely will be doing that. Oh yeah, and there's the other thing. If all of a sudden we have a major pandemic, right? Grid down. The dead bodies alone, the smell, the disease, the rats, all that type of stuff. I don't think people have any idea how truly horrific that would be. Hey, we hit 200. All right, I won't ask for any more, but if you want to add more, that's perfectly fine. So thank you very much, guys. That's always the goal, to hit 200. So, oh yes, winter solstice is also today, the shortest day of the year. So thank goodness. And I've had people say this to me. So I talk about the winter solstice. It's finally here. We're on the shortest day of the year. Starting tomorrow, we start to gain like 2 minutes a day, right? 2 minutes a day of sunlight. And I've had people go, well, we're only gaining like 2 minutes a day. Yeah, but we're not losing now. Now we're gaining. And that makes me happy. If I pick up 14 minutes of sunlight in the week, 2 minutes a day, that's 14 more minutes this week. The next week, you add another 14 minutes on there. That makes me happy. I love it. Okay. So, but, that's just kind of where, that is with that. But the solstice is here. So happy solstice to everybody. Again, now we're officially in winter on top of that, which now, every day that goes by that it don't snow is one day closer to spring. So there we go. El Vant was just talking about more volcanoes and earthquakes. A lot of volcanic activity. A lot of earthquakes are happening. And that really, she's here already. JJ, I already got her. I got her in a half an hour. Well, at 8:30, I got her in. Yeah, she's here. She's laying down now. Now she's chill. So, but yeah, didn't you remember me getting up and going, okay, now she's back in? And then she put her paw on me again. So I think somebody might be getting a little dementia, folks. I don't know. So, but weather forecast is looking decent for at least through the end of the year. You know, we're looking at actually really good weather. All the snow is gone, which is great. I'm happy about that. We got a lot of snow early, so I'm hoping that with getting a lot of snow that we got early, hopefully we'll have a milder rest of the winter. We'll see. But yeah, but again, like I said, with all the volcanic activity, with all the earthquakes happening, um, you know, that's some scary stuff, and that's a game changer as well. I would not want to live in the shadow of a volcano, you know, and a lot of people do. A lot of people do. God, we're stuck at 200 thumbs up. What's up with that? We haven't gone higher. That is so weird. That's actually bizarre. I'm surprised. Got to get it over, guys. Got to make sure it stays over 200. Uh, but again, the this feeling of an uneasiness that a lot of us are sharing, I just think that, like I said, we need to stay focused, continue to do what we need to do. Again, when you realize, okay, and this is the way I look at it, everything is a game. Everything is a game. And I like to win. I like to win. So everything that we can do to put us in a better position to win, which what does winning mean, right? Let's look at it that way. True SHTF happens. What does winning mean? Does it just mean surviving? No. Winning is not just about, I know I was supposed to stop at 200, but it just, nobody got any more on there after that. Now we're in better shape. Um, but again, it's like I want to thrive on the other side. That's the ultimate goal. So I want to get through whatever's going to happen, live through it, and then thrive on the other side of that. Because if it is let's go with a grid down situation. We'll go with that one, okay? If there's a grid down situation, 1 year after a grid down situation, 90% of the population will be gone. 90. And actually, the reality is, if you get through like that first 3 months of a grid down situation, again, depending on what time of year it is when it happens, uh, you know, and then you get through that first winter, right? So, like, say it happened, who knows? I mean, but just whenever you got it, once you get through the first 3 months, that's an important part of it. Once you get through the first winter and then spring comes, there's going to be a whole lot less people to be worried about. And that's the biggest thing. So that's just the biggest thing. And again, it's about thriving on the backside of that, being able to have a life worth living. So a lot of people, and I will tell you this too, right? A lot of people that would make it through that first year, what'll happen is you will, and not even, well, I don't think they would make it through the first year, but you will see a lot of suicides, or you'll see a lot of people just die because they give up, because they can't live, they can't keep going the way the new reality would be. They can't handle it, and they don't want to, so they'll quit on life, and that's going to happen as well. Uh, you got to have a strong mind. You got to be a stubborn SOB, and you got to be methodical, willful, and just lucky. Luck is going to play a big factor in it, guys. I mean, that's the reality too. Luck is going to play a big factor. But I think if you put yourself in the right situation with the right people, the right place, and if you are prepared, the advantages that you're going to have over everybody else is going to be astronomical. And that's what I want. That's my thing. That's what I want. Yeah, you have to have strong survival instinct. The will to live is so strong that you will fight to your last breath. Most people, okay? So, um, like I said, cities are going to be disaster areas. Suburbia is going to be the same way. Not the places you're going to want to be. You want to be as far away from them as you possibly can be. So, anyway, guys, I am going to leave you with my favorite saying, of course, STD, step, thing, and day. If you set realistic goals that you can reach, and then you work towards them, work methodically towards them, you can reach those goals. You can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. It's one step at a time, it's one thing at a time, and it's one day at a time. It is the most important thing that you can do is just work towards that. Don't listen to people that tell you that you can't do it. If you just use that mantra, you will accomplish your goal. It may not be as quickly as you want, but you'll get there. Okay. Just stay focused, friends. Take care of your business, and you guys are going to be just fine. I hope everybody, if you're not here on Wednesday for the next live stream, I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And just keep doing what you got to do. That's the important thing. Don't get distracted with all the nonsense. Focus, take care of your business, and you guys are going to be fine. All right. I will talk to you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse One out for now.